I turned this game on like an hour ago while wait for this or start setting stuff up. I didn't even turn this down. And I've heard this loop so many times. Alright. I need to hear... I did not write down the audio values last time, so I do have to balance the audio real quick. So let me do that. I don't have a pen with me. I might settle for like minus 26 here, minus 25, something like that. Let's try minus 25. Let's see how that goes. Thankfully, this game actually has music right now, which makes it easy to figure out how this is going to sound. I'm going to bump it back down to 28. I think that's probably pretty reasonable. And then hopefully I didn't mess anything up. Yeah, let's cut it even. Cut it even between 20, 26, and 8. Let's do 27. There we go. Hi, how's it going? Happy 4th of July. I really didn't do too much today. I basically, I woke up very briefly at like 8:30, and then around like, let me see what time it was, like 10 or 11, around like 9:30 I went back to sleep, and then at like 11:30 I woke back up and I was like, oh no, I gotta go. So I had to go to my family's house or my uncle's house, and then go have a Thanksgiving lunch. But I was like so groggy. I like tried to shave this morning and I did a really terrible job of it. So but yeah, so I was out that lunch till like 3 or something, then got back to my dad's place from like 3:30 or something like that, and then I went shopping. I actually went to GameStop and I did pick up a few more Wii games. I picked up the Namco Museum Remix. Let's see how do I put this here. Alright, so I had that special charge, and then I think that special charge I had to like press it at certain times to get like the super version of it. But I don't know how to do that. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Then I have air dashes, which... Ooh. Let me restart the game real quick. I think the control scheme didn't reset. Or reset. So I think how the save files work in this game is kind of interesting, because there's actually like a save utility that the Mega Man X collection on PS2 has. Is you make a save file which basically saves the password screen for you, and then when you start the file up, it like brings up the password screen again. It's like a save state at the password screen almost, is what it is. And then so I think technically I still have to set everything up, because it's almost like a cold boot for the Super Nintendo. It's not like a save state or anything like that. It basically just saves like the password values. So I think it does. It's kind of interesting. I don't know the technical know-how behind it, but you're not saving a state when you're saving this. So I'm trying to think if battery backups were like pretty common around the Super Nintendo era. Like I do know a lot of the big ones like JRPGs and most first-party Nintendo stuff had battery backups, but I'm guessing maybe most third-party games still didn't have it. I don't have a lot of Super Nintendo games to really say, unfortunately. I have a pretty small... Actually, I don't have any Super Nintendo games. I had a pretty small Super Nintendo library when I was a kid, and then at some point I gave them to my sister. So that included like Uniracers. I lost Super Mario RPG, so I actually don't have Super Mario RPG anymore. Pretty much all the main Nintendo stuff, and then there was like Mario's Time Machine, or no, not Mario's Time Machine, sorry, Mario's Missing. I had the Super Nintendo version of that. Although when I was a kid, I played the Mario's is Missing DOS version, which has that Ouija art that was really popular in like the late 2000s as like an internet meme. Ouija was in that game, and I played that a bit as a kid, as well as with like Mario Preschool. I played quite a bit of that as well. But okay, so I need to adjust my controls here. So let's do that. Oh, I forgot to tweet that I'm streaming. That'd be a smart thing to do. No. That's the problem with like the FrameMeister and like the screen being black for a period of time. It can be hard to tell. Like, you don't have a lot of time on a menu before the menu resets sometimes, because like, oh, we timed this for if somebody saw the menu immediately. But if it's FrameMeister, you have to wait like 30 seconds. That's a cute profile thing. I'm gonna follow them and take a look at their stuff later. Stop this opening video. I just want to go to the title screen, please. Some more Mega Man X3. And link the Twitch channel. Alright, I definitely want dash on R1, and then, that's fine. Alright, all done. Oh my gosh, please stop going to that screen. Hey Zero, how's it going? I am trying to get back in the game here real quick, but it's taken some time. There's a lot of resolution swaps on the way from starting this game up in 480i to getting into the game and the video playing to getting to the title screen that's at 240p, and then switching to the when I start the level, it's like switching back to 480i for the video, and then it's switching back to 240p, so the FrameMeister just keeps like cutting out over and over and over again. Just like the nature, though, of switching resolutions. There's not really a good answer to like resolution swaps at this point. So, anyways, how you doing, Zero? I forgot if I asked you that already. I know you weren't super excited about it, but we're probably just going to be playing some more Mega Man X3 for the most part. So that will be today's goal, is see how far we can get in here. I think we'll probably collect all the main power-ups at the very least. Good. I'm glad you are fine. The most neutral of feelings. I am also feeling fine, I think. Actually, oh, see, yeah, already did that. Okay. No, I forgot everything respawns. Actually, have felt kind of weird this week. I don't know what's up with it. I probably just haven't slept enough. I've been also taking it kind of slow because of how long it took to get that Mega Man video out, or not Mega Man, Castlevania video out, and so I'm just like, yeah, I'll just enjoy things for a while. But in doing that, I feel like I still haven't taken proper care of myself. Did I say Zero a bunch? I am sorry. Oh, or you mean the password screen, all the zeros, yeah. There's a like fly flying around my room. I don't know. Oh. Oh, dude. Okay. I don't think I watched the opening video for this level. Yeah, a bunch of Zero faces. I haven't found much of a use for Zero in this game yet. Maybe I'll use him on the boss fights. Or like if I'm about to die, maybe that's probably a good time. Alright, bye. Let's see, do I have any? Oh boy. Yeah, sure, let's call Zero. Now's the time. Nope, Zero's not here. Right when we need him. Let's see which attacks do the most damage to this guy. I don't think acid does. Oh, I'm dead. Rest in peace. I'm still kind of undecided of what to do after we finish up this, and maybe Kid Dracula as well. I feel like I have too many games on my plate, what I want to like look at right now, but it's all stuff that I don't really want to stream per se. I want to capture, or I have other reasons to be looking at. So I'm still trying to figure out. I probably could figure out, like Tales of the Tempest might be like a cool thing to do. I just have to figure out there's like some editing I have to do to the config file for the Nintendo DS Virtual Console stuff. So that might take some time. Okay. That does a decent amount of damage. I'm not really sure how to avoid. Maybe just chill at the top of the screen. I feel like maybe I could be doing more damage. Let me try switching to another weapon here. That's doing a lot of nothing. Oop. That didn't do a lot of damage either. Oh, that seems pretty decent. Oh, I stepped on him. But yeah, I have maybe too many games on my desk right now. I'm playing through Uncharted 3's multiplayer stuff right now. We finished all the co-op missions in Uncharted 3. But we're just doing like the what's it called now? The like wave survival stuff, which is fun. I really need to play through Uncharted at some point in like a single player capacity. The multiplayer stuff seems neat, and like the gameplay feels good too for it. So. Oh, you know what? I do want to charge this. Actually, I could charge the I could charge this up. Oh wait, no, I forgot that actually does something if I do that. We'll just. Oh, I actually charge. Nice. All that for nothing. Well, let's just shoot a normal one. Oh, apparently this one's out 30. Oh, oopsie. Ow. He stopped standing so close to him. There we go. Easy enough. I forget how old X is in this series. So if I recall correctly, he was like put to sleep and then they woke him up later is what it was. So Dr. Light made him in the past, which is why you have all those like capsules of Dr. Light being a ghost man. Backslide through that wall. But yeah, I was telling you earlier, Zero, that I picked up that One Piece game at GameStop, but I also picked up Namco Museum Remix, which is like kind of a remix of a bunch of Namco games. Some of them are more like arcade games. Other ones are actually kind of some interesting choices. Like there's a remix of Pack and Roll for the Nintendo DS, which is actually, at the time, I was a big fan of Pack and Roll. I don't know if there's a lot of love for Pack and Roll now. I also don't know if I would love Pack and Roll now. I don't know if it's like a full game. I mean, I assume it's like, I don't know if it's like a HD, or not HD, but a Wii remake of Pack and Roll, or if it's just like a select number of levels or something. But there is like some more arcadey kind of stuff in there too. It looks interesting. I paid like, I actually got that one technically for free because apparently there was some deal going on, and I bought 3 used games. The other game I got was Sonic Colors. I had been needing a copy for a while, And it was like $8, but it was like in pretty decent condition, so I went ahead and picked it up. Namco Museum's case was not in great condition. It could have been better. I don't know if I made the right choice or not in getting Namco Museum, but since it was free, I guess it's not a big deal. Or not really free, because you had to buy. You had to buy the 2 games to get a 3rd one free. So I've been meaning to try to rebuy some of those games that I've rented in the past, though, and didn't like really enjoyed, but didn't like actually own anymore. Big ones being El Shaddai, and there we go. Big ones being El Shaddai. Sonic Colors is another one. I liked Bioshock Infinite. I don't know if I ever would need a copy of Bioshock Infinite for anything. What is going on here? Oh, did the level flip over? Interesting. Oh no! There we go. I also started to play Plus again this week, but I haven't played much of it. I played maybe like an hour. I started dating Nene, which I like Nene. She's fine. I don't like her as much as I like Manaka. I feel like Manako is just a weirdo, and I like weirdo characters. Like in a way that is like a good kind of weirdo character. Like she's not overly weird. She's not like... She doesn't know she's a weirdo. She's just kind of like awkward and not awkward in a way that's like super obvious. It's like you just... There are things that she's interested in that you typically wouldn't expect from the type of character she is. And she just... Oh, did that not work? Oh, man. Let me see if I can drill into him. Well, that didn't go so well. El Shaddai is my 2nd favorite PS3 game, maybe. It's on a top 5 list for sure. Nier is my favorite PS3 game for sure. I really need to play more PS3 games. I really haven't spent a ton of time with the console. And something I was thinking about recently with PS3 in particular is like, oh boy, he's gonna chomp me. Don't chomp me, please. Something I was thinking about recently in particular with oh my gosh, please. I just want to drill. Okay, that's not working. I think drill would work on... Yeah, I don't know why I would think drill would work on crab. Oh, I think it's like Bubble Crab. Is that what his name is? Or maybe that was X2 is Bubble Crab. I need to try some other stuff. Nier is definitely my #1 PS3 game. El Shaddai's top 5 for sure. But yeah, I need to at some point. The fear is that the I buy these PS3 games and then I whatever service there is that is like patching these games goes offline, and I'll have to like start hacking my PS4 and stuff, and it's hard to say if these games will have patches and stuff. So like part of me is thinking like, oh, I need to probably like jeez. None of this stuff seems to be working very well. So I think I forget if I used acid. No. Let me try if this isn't the end. Oh, it is the end. We'll come back here, I think. That didn't go so well. My 10-year plan for video games, but it's always changing. It's like I'm always thinking of games I want to check out and play. Yeah. And a lot of people have been talking about Final Fantasy XIV recently because it's. I'm surprised how popular Final Fantasy XIV is getting. Like, there is a lot of talk about the new expansion that I typically wouldn't expect about an MMO, but you know. Yeah, Shadowbringers. I just, like all that aside, like there are things I really like about Final Fantasy XIV, and I feel like, oh man, I've tried and tried again, but I feel like there's a way I can enjoy that game. I just got to figure out how. How do I enjoy that game? I love Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 so much. Or 1.23b, rather. Well, alright, yeah. Yeah. Don't laser me, please. Oh, there are spikes on that wall. I was about to try to climb the wall back up, but I would have been murdered. Is this bad? Oh boy. Oh yeah, more PS3 games, more PSP games, more Vita games, all the PlayStation platforms I need to spend more time with. PlayStation 2, I feel good about PlayStation 2, but it's a platform that has so many games that I'll never be done with it. So I don't sit there and really feel a need to like... I don't really feel a need to explore that much more of the PS2 library. Like, I do want to keep exploring those games, and I will continue to do so, and I'll continue to enjoy them. But I feel like I've played a good chunk that I don't have any, like... I feel good about my time at the PS2. Oh, that's right, I can do, like, a jump dash thing, like, upward. Okay, let's get out of here before he starts beating me up. Yeah, I guess I'm just really surprised, like, how many people, like, they were talking, like... I listened to the Giant Bomb podcast this week, and everybody on that podcast was just like, oh, his name's Vile. For some reason, I thought his name was Viper. But yeah, I was just really surprised how many people on staff there that, you know, typically wouldn't be interested in that stuff were really interested. Oh boy! Oh boy. Sometimes, like, I don't know if it's me or the controller or what, but like I just drop a dash jump input and just like fall flat on my face. Oh man, I'm just... like that. Also, this double charge feels like it's getting in the way. I don't know if it's me or the controller. I don't think that was the game, though. I will say there's like something kind of, and I think this probably has to do with the analog buttons on the PlayStation 2 controller, but there's something very mushy about the PlayStation 2 buttons that I don't think is the case for like Super Nintendo buttons. So it doesn't always feel quite right. I don't know if that's the case for PS3 or PS4. But I do know that, yeah, the buttons on PS2 are like intended to be pressed at different pressure values. So, or on PS2 rather. So I feel like, at least like mentally, I feel like the buttons feel more smushy. I felt that way about like Space Channel 5 on PS2 as well. Yeah, like I'm just trying to... like, I know what I need to do here, but I just keep messing the input up. It's like, I need to jump up, I need to dash off the wall, but just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to like fix how I do it, but in trying to do that, I'm messing up more. Can I just write this? Like, this is just an elevator. I should be able to just go up there, but... nope. But yeah, Sonic Colors is probably my favorite Sonic game. I like Sonic Adventure. I don't know if it's the like. I think Sonic Adventure has a lot of problems, but there are a lot of fascinating things about the game. So I kind of felt like I should get a copy of it. All right, let's do this right this time. Maybe it's him punching the wall. That's the problem. I don't know if like when he punches the wall, if I like lose my gripping. All right. Well, there's no what's it called right now. It's frustrating because it went so well the first time. Nope. Yeah, like that, I just dropped down. So maybe when he hits the wall, I'm falling, is what it is. I could also try to use one of my weapons rather than sit there and just try to use the Buster Shot the whole way through. But yeah, I think the problem when I played Final Fantasy XIV last time is I got too distracted. I was just kind of running around doing quests and stuff. And I like doing that stuff. I like the side quests and things like that. The main story I wasn't super into in Heaven's Word. I think for me, Final Fantasy XIV is more about the characters and setting. So like the main plot, I think I don't care that much about. But, you know, I do enjoy it. I don't want to sit there and act like it's, let's see what happens when that happens. Okay. Laser beams are shot. I want to see what's up here. I'm doing a great job taking a ton of damage, but that's okay. Let me in! Is that a hole? Oh, okay. It kind of looked like I was falling when I dashed over that, so. Yeah, just go. Got a lot of paths on this level. Okay, there's a heart upgrade. Nope. Need to dash and hit that wall, I think, to grab that. Okay, I wonder if it has something to do with, let me see. Yeah, it looks like the token for YouTube expired. Let me reconnect that real quick. I'm live now. Got it. Oh, sorry, Alex. I did not see your things. Test. All right, now we're getting a ton of YouTube messages from Alex. All right. I'm sorry. The YouTube chat had disconnected, I think. So. All right, you should be able to watch on YouTube now. Sorry about that, Alex. I had noticed that the YouTube had disconnected earlier when there we go. I noticed that YouTube had disconnected earlier when I guess we're gonna go down. But I want that stuff. Can I get back up? I want the stuff. All right, we'll just come back to it. I didn't know that the chat disconnected separately, so it looked like I had to also reconnect it via the chat, or for the chat as well. I use Restream, and it's actually like a really nice tool for restreaming stuff to multiple platforms. I typically it seems like, at least what I found is that most people seem to actually want to watch on Twitch. But the problem I've had was that there we go. The VOD stuff on Twitch is kind of hard to work with. It's not terrible, but it's not very convenient. And then the YouTube one, if YouTube live streams it, then it just basically auto archives it as a VOD. So I streamed to both of them. Although I'm surprised how many people had use YouTube. I feel like the majority of people I have in the chat end up coming from YouTube, but I could be wrong. Let me use some weapons here and figure out what I'm doing real quick. Maybe one of these will do okay. That's okay damage, but that does more damage, but I can't really just drop it on them. I have to take my time to... I don't think Gravity Well actually does any damage. Oh, jeez. This freaking... Yeah. So when he hits that wall, I fall. So I can't stay on one wall very long. Oh, you can use a PS1 controller with PlayStation 2? I don't think I realized that. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna go. This is actually a bad use of my health. But there are health power-ups here. Oh boy. There we go. Alright, let's try, I think it was Ice that I was gonna try next. Yeah, I have problems with Twitch sometimes. So on Chrome particularly, Twitch will just sometimes break all of a sudden, and it just, unless I clear my cache and everything, it won't work anymore. Jesus Christ, I hate this so much. It's not getting off this wall is not hard, but for some reason the input is just not working well for me right now. Okay. I think we're gonna use acid. It's probably unnecessary to use acid, but I think it's just gonna be the most convenient for paying attention to these wall hops and still hitting him. Ah, jeez. I'm burning through this acid too fast. Maybe I'll just try to use Exposter Shot. Ray wasn't bad. And I really only need to make sure that the beginning of Ray hits him. The back half of it doesn't really matter. Nope. Nope. The R1 did not trigger for me that time, so I just kind of jumped in place. Oh. We'll get there. I'll go ahead and try to get up there to where that heart armor was earlier. I figured at the very least we can grab the hearts and then die immediately, and we'll probably still keep it at that point. I don't think it forgets that you got the hearts. Got the heart. Somebody's car alarm's going off. So, yeah, I don't know if it's dropping inputs on the wall. It's just like when he hits the wall, and if I'm on the wall, I fall off. I think that's intentional design. I could be wrong. But that feels like what's happening. But it just wasn't super clear immediately, so... Busted his thing. Let me up! Let me up! Alright, we got up here. I want this health stuff. Well, we're good. Let's keep going. Yeah. Jumping through here is a little weird. Oops. Part of me wants to go left there, but I won't be able to side hop back up here if that's the case, so... Alright. I got the heart. That's all that matters. I'm gonna keep going up that path, see if there's anything else up there as well. We'll go for this one. Stop pelting me. Oh boy. Well, that didn't do any good. I'm worse off than I was earlier, but that's okay. Sorry, while I'm trying to focus a little bit more while I do this. Alright. I can't remember if there's another path on the top, so I'm just going to go left here. Let's go up. It is kind of interesting, like, how open the level design is in the Mega Man X games. I guess we're gonna see what's here up here. Well, let's try Gravity Well, maybe. Yeah. We found the thing! Armor upgrade. That's gonna help a lot, considering how I just kind of like face ram into enemies. I can't remember what all the power-ups do in the Mega Man game, or in the Mega Man X games. Like, I don't remember if these power-ups are the same ones in Mega Man X. I feel like the armor upgrade was something in Mega Man X2, but I don't recall it like creating a barrier like it just did there. Although the barrier seems to be gone already, so I don't know. It's interesting because I actually don't know where that other path leads to eventually. Like if it just kind of loops around to the same area. Because this is another boss fight. Or not. apparently not. It's a boss, not a boss fight. There we go. Another one of these pads I still don't know what to do with. Alex, the joys of the hobbies we have. My wrists also hurt from time to time. I don't know how young you are, Alex, but even in high school, I was having some times where my wrists would be in pain. But I know drawing in particular seems to be real bad for wrists, unfortunately. I'm having issues right now with work where the desks I have aren't particularly they don't really fit my height level very well, and I'm having problems with wrist pain because of that. It's not always a problem, but I don't really know what to do about it because we've kind of tried a few things, and there's not really a good solution to any of them. The one being that if I ask them to like attach a tray to the bottom of my desk, then hopefully that would adjust it. I did see there's like these things called like compression gloves that if you wear them for like 8 hours at a time, they're supposed to help you, but I don't know like how legit they are. I know that it seems like some doctors recommend them, but it seems like you really have to make sure they're fitted for you. You can't just like go buy a random set of compression gloves. Yeah, if you have something like that where it's like a very specific thing, like causes something to hurt, you know, I'm not a doctor, but you know, if you spend 3 days doing a very rigorous motion with the same hand or something, that the good chance is that it's probably just, you know, your body being like, hey, I don't like what you just did, by the way. And it's probably not carpal tunnel. It's probably just your wrist being like, hey dude, maybe don't scrub for 3 days again. Thanks. So I wouldn't worry too much about it unless it continues to be bad. Ow. I mean, again, I'm not a doctor, but sometimes, like, that's just how it is. I don't know what to do about that right now. Like, when he, like, spits that whole set of things at me and, like, sucks it back in. Maybe if I get close to them and then jump over them when they come out and then go back in. Yeah, Zero's the doctor here. Dr. Zero. He knows what's up. But yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think the problem is when you know, have general use and your wrists are hurting. Like I just have my wrist hurting from using a keyboard sometimes. It's not all the time. It could be worse right now. And I talked to my doctor about it, and he more or less was just like, well, you should sit properly at your desk, which I am not very good at doing. And you should, you know, make sure your wrists aren't in a weird spot. So, what is going on here? I don't know what causes it to do the double drill sometimes. Is it just me clicking it multiple times? I don't know. This seems to be working well, even though the damage output is actually really low. Let's freeze him. Oh no! Yeah, I can't hurt him right now during this, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, like I wouldn't worry about it being carpal. You're young. You're probably good. I mean, you can get carpal tunnel when you're young, but yeah, the big thing I think, you know, at least from my friends who draw, is just to make sure you take care of your, like, do proper wrist exercises, and then, you know, I've seen people recommend different products if they draw, but I mean, real answer is talk to your doctor. Chances are they'll just be like, well, what have you been doing? And you say, well, I've been scrubbing a shower. They'll be like, all right, well, don't scrub a shower for a while and then see if it goes away, is probably what they'll end up telling you. So I think you're good, Zero. Or not Zero, Alex. You're probably fine. But you know your body better than I do, so I will not sit here and tell you. I'm not a doctor. I am simply a man who plays video games on the internet. So, I don't really have any idea of... Alright, we're going to go back to this stage. I'm going to go kill Vile. I feel like Vile is very doable. I don't know what killing Vile gets us, if anything, but he's going to go. And then we'll leave it at that for this area. But yeah, I'm definitely getting to the age where I really have to start thinking about that stuff. Now I'm almost 30, so my body is gonna start giving me some good times. It's gonna start breaking down. I feel like 35 to 40 is the range that people are just like, hey, my body is just starting to shut down. Like not like really bad, but you start having the doctors being like, okay, man. Look, some stuff is gonna, like, some stuff's happening. The elevator's working this time. Interesting. I wonder what made that change. But I mean, like, you know, being 30s, by no means saying, like, you're at the end of your livable span or something like that. I think it's just when parts of your body just start going like, you're getting kind of old, man. I do feel... It is strange being where I'm at in terms of age. Like, I feel like I'm a giant man-child. And so, like, when I see people... Ooh, okay. When I see people my age being very responsible adults, it's just like, oh, yeah, I guess that probably should be something that's going on, huh? But, you know, it's different for everybody. Like, my sister, she owns a house, has a kid, her and her husband do. You know, they kind of feel like, you know, they never got to travel or anything. Because they do have friends that are still, like, still kind of like in that unsettled period, and like are going around the world and traveling and stuff, but you know, having a child makes that difficult. Jesus Christ, stop touching me. I guess it makes sense that maybe I should... Oh my god, get up that wall, get up that wall, get up that freaking wall. Gosh dang it. I don't even care anymore, we're just battling this out. Oh. Alright, I made a mistake. Alright. Do I use my E-tanks? I don't know what the purpose of this battle is, if it will matter. There's got to be a reason for that fight. I don't know what that reason is yet. But there's got to be something down there. They wouldn't just put that there just to put it there. Like, they wouldn't be like, oh, here's a boss fight you can just do for no reason. But part of me wants to use my E-tanks, but I'm worried that towards the end of the game I'll want them. I don't want to burn through them so early. How about this? Let's go to these other areas, and then we'll come back to that place if I feel good about it, and we'll fight Vile then. Let's do that. Let's do that. So, I don't know what this guy's weak to still. I'm going to hope it's the spark thing, because last time I tried to shoot him with random stuff, he didn't want anything to do with it. I have not revisited the Hornet guy since the beginning of the game. Oh yeah, there's that one boss fight with that guy here. I can't remember what I used against him last time. What was it? Was it? I think it was drills that I used against him last time, and I think that worked really well. So, oh, is he just gone? Okay, maybe you just have to defeat them once and then they're good. So we're, I'd say probably maybe about halfway through. The big thing that will be like a determinant, I think, of how much more time we spend with the game, is there are power-ups in a lot of the stages. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Well, we found a teleporter. Or maybe this teleporter's just here on all the stages and we just fight Vile if we come here. Interesting. But basically, there's different power-ups between all the stages, and if I want to collect them all, that will take a little bit more time. But I'll probably just look up a guide next time, and or look up a guide to get the rest of them. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll try to just blindly go through them. The biggest problem is that I haven't really been keeping track of where we got these power-ups from, so I could potentially be going through stages and searching for ones that we've already cleared out. So I don't know. We'll see. But we're gonna fight Vile again, apparently. What did I use last time? I think I just Buster Shot him. I think the answer is never let him get close enough to the wall that he can hit it. Because once he starts hitting the wall, it becomes a problem. Oh, I got punched in the face. There we go. Okay. Now the question is there anything useful here against him? That didn't really do anything. I feel like gravity doesn't really do anything to anybody in this game. That's okay. I might use the E-Tank. Yep, let's use it. Didn't jump over it. Do I risk it? It is literally like one shot till he's dead. Nope, I shouldn't have risked it. And I used a bunch of my right shots. It seems very doable, though. but I don't have any or as much ray shot left. I feel like that was doing pretty good. But I'd say probably about halfway through, maybe. I feel like we'll probably spend most of the tonight playing a good chunk of this, and then probably a little bit of next week we'll also play some of this. After that, I'll probably jump into Kid Dracula, and then do Kid Dracula. I don't know, maybe we'll see. If I do Tales of the Tempest, the big thing is I just have to I gotta mess with the configuration file of the DS emulator so I can get it to appear properly on screen, because right now the default setup I need to think about what I'm doing. The default setup for the DS emulator for games that use both the top and the bottom screen equally is not good. I think it wastes a lot of screen space. And I can use the config file to resize the screens, but I just got to figure it out because I haven't seen anyone do that online. I just was looking at the config file and noticed there were number values for individual display settings in the virtual console emulator, and when I modified those, that would actually change how the screens would display on the TV, and that was also how I got rid of the DS background on that emulator. So if I can modify that to increase the size of the screens for the stream, I think that will overall be better, because otherwise I'm gonna have to manually resize everything for that game through OBS, and it's not gonna look good. Jesus, it wouldn't look bad, but it could look. Honestly, more than anything, it probably would be more affected on my side. Man, just eat that E-Tank. I want him dead. It'll probably look more bad on my side if I don't fix it than your guys' side, because in OBS I can fix it, but on my side I have to basically resize all the camera stuff, or all the screen settings. I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever. Oh, apparently it's time to get out of here. Oh, jeez. Up. I don't know if I should have taken the elevator or wall jumped, but this at least defends me from the falling rocks. Oh boy. Up and out. Whew, that was close. Alright, I don't really know what that did. But we did it. Oh yeah, that's right, this ship thing. I still don't really know if we're gonna be able to finish this boss properly either. Oh, yeah. I think this level has some extra 1-ups on it. I could be wrong though. Yeah, I think it's right over here. Yep. That or we could play Quest 64. I want to play Quest 64. I feel like an RPG. I think we're long overdue for an RPG on stream, is how I feel. Whether or not Quest 64 or Tales of the Tempest are the right RPGs for that is another thing. But I'd like to play an RPG on stream, so. Because I think the last one I played was... Might have been Thousand Arms, which was the first game I streamed. So... This originally started as an attempt to force me to play through Thousand Arms. So... I don't really remember, like, how far I had planned to take streaming, per se. Oh my gosh, stop doing that. I knew I didn't want to like make it the main focus of my content, but it is definitely like an easy way to get content out. Like, I hate to say it's like, I don't know, because it's like it's very different from obviously making videos and stuff. So I know it's not a replacement for that stuff. All right, I still don't really know how this move works, but that seemed to have stunned him, and it seems to get me out of his pincer attack thing. Yeah, this seems like definitely the right weapon for this. There we go. Easy. Did we get a special power-up on that stage? I don't think we did. I'm trying to think of where we could have looked. There's that ship part where I could have dropped down. I might explore this stage a little bit more. I don't know. I'm not sure. Spinning blade. For stream's sake, I wonder if it is worth just like looking up where they're at. Like I don't know if I want to keep you guys watching me just randomly exploring the same areas over and over again. But oh, I assume that's a firework that just went off and not thunder. Let me check in front of that ship real quick. I feel like that'd be the most obvious place that the power-up would be. There's also possibly down here. Still don't know what these pads are for. Yeah, it would definitely be easier. I think the big thing is just, I think pretty much everyone I talked to when I mentioned Mega Man X was just like, yeah, that's definitely Mega Man X. Yes, it is the 4th of July. Okay, that didn't work. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can kind of use to shoot through this. Let's just try the charged up Mega Buster and see what happens. I don't think this would do it. Blades? They kind of do explode. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I definitely thought about that earlier. I don't know. I figured it probably wouldn't be too much of a problem, but just let me know and we can I can end early if that's the case, if it's unlistenable. Or I can mute my microphone unless I'm talking or something. I think I am unable to bust this wall open right now. So I don't know if that's the thing I need back there, but we'll let me look at that one other spot that I was thinking of. Oh, whoops, well, get back. You can't hear it? Okay. Let me look at one other spot I was thinking of, and then if that is the case, then you know I could technically go up top here too. Oh, I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I was just like sitting there staring at him. Okay, so that's where the locked off thing is. And then I think the ship is right past here. Yeah, you would think, but apparently not. I would like to get a better audio setup for streaming. Like, I realize this headset's not the greatest of quality, but like like maybe I just don't know how to use it, but like this microphone, you know, trying to get this in a position where, let me look at what this looks like in OBS, but like trying to get this in a position where it's not in the way of A, me playing the game, B, you guys seeing me, doesn't seem very easy. I don't really know like what kind of range this thing has. Maybe it would be fine up here or something. I don't know. And then just have this weird little boom mic situation going on. I don't think I would need the pop filter in this case because I wouldn't be looking at it directly. But I don't know. I really don't. I'm not an audio person, so I really don't know what the best option would be for that. So, but yeah, I definitely notice like when doing the quick plays, which I use my headset for, I definitely notice a big difference in audio quality between using that microphone and using All right, this just seems like just a way to die. So, I notice a big difference between the audio though. So, I don't want to be here anymore. Let me try going up top here real quick too, and then if there's nothing up there, we'll stop this area for now and then go to the final area. Ready? I have too many lives apparently. Oh, you know what? I forgot I can exit to the thing, but it's too late. But we did what we came here to do. Okay. Because I have at least 2 more armor upgrades. I have the helmet, and then I think the I have the shoes. I forget if there's a leg upgrade as well. Just which one is it? So, but yeah, in general, I need to be better about my audio. I still spike the mic very often in a way that I probably shouldn't. All right, we got him. Is it just health? Because if that's it, then there's no reason to go up here for anything. Yeah, it's just health. Okay. Like, even in my main videos, I still do that a lot. Like, during the Castlevania videos, there's definitely parts where I have to, like, lower the volume of my voice because I'm, like, blah, at it, you know? Yeah, I shouldn't worry too much about it, you're right. I think it's mostly fine. I think mainly for the quick plays, it bothers me more than anything. But I don't think it's bad. I am, like, kind of figuring out what works best for the quick plays right now in terms of audio. Because they, or in terms of like the general recording of it, because I was recording the game audio and my audio baked together like I do during a stream, because that was just originally how I did quick plays, was at the end of a stream, so the audio for the game and me were all just mixed together already. But now I record separate video files and audio files so I can, you know, switch it if I need to, which I did mess up last time. Yeah. This is like 150, I think, for this microphone. It's just like a Yeti microphone. It's nothing super special, but maybe not 150. But it was definitely pricier than the Snowball I had before. Which honestly, I was pretty happy with the Snowball quality before. Let me see if I can drop down here. I don't think so. It's always hard with these things. Like, you have to look to see if the camera falls down. Oh. I wasn't unhappy with the snowball's quality. The only reason I replaced the snowball, honestly, is because when I upgraded to Windows 10, it had this weird static noise all the time, and I couldn't figure out why. And basically, I just looked up online, and there's just a lot of people that were like, yeah, that just kind of happens with the snowball. And I'm just like, well, and it just seems like it depends on your motherboard and stuff, which is very bizarre to me. But you know, I don't know anything about like, you know, how USB devices work with motherboards and stuff. So maybe it made logical sense of why it didn't work. But so instead of sit there and try to diagnose the problem, I just basically decided to get a new mic. I still have the snowball laying around here, but I don't really have a need for it right now. Okay, that doesn't go anywhere. So, alright, nothing up there. So maybe someday I'll have some reason to need it. I forget what this even was. Oh yeah, it's just like a weird diamond thing that like bounces up and down. Ow. I don't. There we go. Yeah, so I use the Yeti stuff for reviews and podcasts. Anything that doesn't involve me playing a game while also recording audio. If I'm playing a game while I'm recording audio, then I use the headset. But honestly, if I continue to use this setup, I would like to replace the headset with something else, maybe. Because I actually am not a huge fan of this headset, and I actually have some problems with it right now. It's a fine headset. It does its job, but I feel like I can maybe find something that would be better. And if I could get one with like a better microphone on it too, that would be nice. There's another cracked wall there. But I don't know if I don't really have anything to deal with it still. Apparently that deals with it. There's like a platform or a hole down there. There we go. All right. Is this for me? Is that what this whole area is for? So I can get this suit? Apparently. Alright, Robot Man. Because Mega Man's not already a Robot Man. Let's see, is there anything up here? Part upgrade. Does my suit stay? No, my suit's gone. Oh well. Geometry Strikes Back. Did the YouTube chat stop working again, Alex? I still need to play Geometry Wars at some point. That's one of those games that have been on my list to play ever since it came out, and I still have not taken the time. I think that was like 2005 when that game came out. I feel like all Xbox 360 stuff has been... I've been meaning to play this since it came out, but I have not actually taken the time to actually play it. Admittedly, I didn't have an Xbox 360 until after the Xbox One came out. So it's not like I particularly had like a, you know, the ability to play a lot of these games as they were coming out. So it is all a bunch of, you know, going backwards to check out some of the stuff. Infinite Undiscovery is a big game I want to play. Eternal Sonata, Lost Odyssey, all those JRPGs on Xbox 360 are big ones I need to check out still. I was trying to see if there's anywhere in the stage that I could see that mech really being super helpful, but other than the last boss fight, I don't think so. Unless you were supposed to use the mech to just get that heart piece. I don't know if you normally can do that or not. I'm gonna guess maybe this. Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay. I'm trying to think of what skills I have that I have not had any effect on any opponents yet. Gravity is a big one. I just don't know what it'd be used for. It is pushing his stuff off the screen. Okay, that apparently did something. Okay, apparently it's gravity. I don't really understand how this hurts him, but I'm not complaining. It's just like, oh no, there's gravity in here. I guess if you're like flying, maybe, like you're having to fly back against it. Okay. Well, I will, I'm clicking reconnect again. We'll see how it goes. I may just have to disconnect it after this. Yeah, there we go. There's all your messages, Alex. Lost Dimension I did do on stream, you're right. Sorry to just throw all your messages up there at once. Oh, okay, we got cutscene. Who's Dr. Kane? I don't even remember. Oh, I closed the chat on accident. Alright. Yeah, I had forgotten about Lost Dimensions. I do like Lost Dimension in concept, but I wish the execution was better. I was talking to Rowan recently, or I wasn't talking about, I was reading, I think he had a Twitter thread about Lost Dimension or something, and he had mentioned how much he liked it, and like how mechanics like worked in his, they didn't really like the big thing for me, and he commented on my article, I guess is where I'm coming from with this, is that basically for me, like the person that was being accused every time was always the person who actually was the traitor, but in his case that wasn't, and I wish mine was a bit harder to figure out who the traitor was. Battle body? I forgot Zero's in this game already. I haven't used Zero since the beginning of the game. Sigma. All right. Let's do the stream thing of just looking up the guide here real quick. Yeah. Yeah, there you are. Isn't it always Sigma though? Like, I don't know if Sigma ever goes away. Mega Man X3 upgrade locations. Alright. Apparently we're using strategydywiki.org, whatever this is. Leg upgrade, we already got that. Arm upgrade, got that. Body upgrade, got that. Helmet upgrade. Rhino stage. Okay, how about this? How about we find out what stage it's on, but we'll search through the stage to figure out where it's at. That's like, I think that's a good compromise of, we're not just searching through a stage that may have nothing in it, but we're still actually searching for the thing. So in this case, it's Rhino stage for the helmet upgrade. I think there's like a wall here that I never busted open, so that could be what it is. Ow. I like how these like robots are equipped with the ability to transport boulders and also missiles. Because isn't that like the whole Mega Man thing? Is that like all these things are like worker robots and stuff with like different skills in certain fields? Let me see if this hole. Nope. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like that's generally like the plot. Is that like, oh, these robots have specific things. Okay, so there's got to be a way we can deal with this. I didn't get a fire skill, so originally I thought maybe I had to like burn that rope, but that didn't happen at least. So let's try to. The drill didn't do anything. I do have something called a P-bomb. I didn't do anything. I did try acid already, if I recall correctly. Yeah. I feel like a lot of these I already tried. Pretty sure I did this last time and didn't do anything. Pretty sure frost I had here last time didn't do anything. Okay. You have to wait for that thing to go away first. I could just try a stronger Buster Shot. Air dash through. It feels like there's collision up there. Whoops. I don't really have any other moveset to work with, I feel like. So I might just leave that for now until I can think more about what would be needed to get that to work. Just look for the helmet upgrade for now. I don't know if it's like, cause I know it's like some older Mega Man games you get like upgrades after you beat all the robot bosses and stuff. Sometimes like you get the ones where you can like, you know, shoot and you would like make the little bridges out of the magnet beam thing or whatever it's called. Forget its name. Okay, oops. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a specific power-up or what. I don't know what kind of power-ups in this game. I think we're missing leg armor maybe? Or we might have everything, I don't know, outside the helmet. That looks like a place that it might be. Well, it looks suspicious up here at least. Ow. Thinking about. Oh. But yeah, like even though Lost Dimensions, I think it has been a good chunk of time since that stream. I think that was in. I feel like that was like late last year is when that was. I seem to recall it being around the end of the year that I was doing that, so. don't feel like I saw anything over there. I don't know if there potentially could be holes up there. This could potentially be somewhere we go. No. Okay. Let's see if we can go up here. No. Alright. So, there's another one of these things. I'm gonna guess it's over there then. Question is, what do I do about this? Like, I can't think of any logic of, like, what I would need to do for these. Like, none of these things seem like a logical answer to these. The exception being acid, if I wanted to, like, try to melt the ropes. I don't know what P-bomb is. The blades to cut the strings, but that's not there. And the drill to drill through the rock, I would think. Alright, let's see what this guide says. Because I'm out of ideas. Reach to the place for the giant boulder blocking the path on the left. Charge up Triad Thunder and release it and proceed to the capsule. Apparently I did not charge up Triad Thunder. Whatever that is. So. I think that's the electric move. I don't really know how electricity would affect a boulder, but we'll try, see what happens. Triad Thunder. It's this one. I guess technically when you hit the Triad Thunder, it shakes the ground and that causes the boulder to fall. I don't really understand the logic behind that, but I guess I won't worry about it too much. Okay, now we have the radar. How do I use the radar? I forget. Sit. Wait, what? Did you give it to me? Oh, I gotta get it first. Forgot that part of it. Okay. Interesting. So the question is, what causes that to come up? Is it like a weapon, or... Doesn't look like it. Well, how do I trigger this? Zero, having a good time. I would think it would be one of the free face buttons, but that doesn't seem to be doing it. Hold up, hold down. Select, start. Let's see. Why can't I figure this out? something about exiting or starting the stage, so maybe I only see it at the start of a stage. Ugh. Yeah, it looks like all the armor upgrades. Okay, so we do have a list of things here. So there's life up and there's question marks. So the life up for sure, I know I can get that. So that makes this a little easier. I still don't know. There we go. I don't know if I triggered that or if that just happens at the start of the stage or something. But I know where this one is, for sure. Yeah, I think it might just be at the start of the stage, so they do that for you. Because I can't find any button input that caused that to happen. Alright. Alright. So I guess we won't need this guide anymore. But I do feel like we have all the power-ups we need. So if we need something else to get to that drill wall, I don't know what it is. So this has S-Tank. I don't know what S-Tank is. And this has Change H. I didn't find anything on this stage apparently. This is the one that has the drill wall, right? I think it's what we determined. Oh yeah, that's right, it's gonna show us. So there's something at the beginning here, and then once we go down, there's two more things. So let's go look for those things real quick. I wish I could say this week had anything particularly exciting going on, but I kind of took this week to chill. That Castlevania 64 video took a lot out of me. I feel like I missed the last thing already. We'll go back here. I thought it said it was like a floor down from here. Oh. What? Oh. Apparently I have different things I can summon. I mean, so I would not say it was my magnum opus. If anything, like, that's probably the most flawed video I've made in a long time. The script wasn't where I wanted it to be, but the reality is I spent 5 months working on that thing and was not anywhere near where I needed that thing to be still. So I assume this is supposed to be for water missions and not intended for going on land. Oh boy. If that's supposed to be killing that thing, it's not doing a lot of damage. So maybe make the... Oh, there we go. All right. Figuring it out. Enter this Capsule X. Install this body chip. Okay. So the rest of these just like enhancements? One of the 4 enhancement chips. Enter this capsule only if you're sure you want to use this chip. So can I only choose one chip? I guess I'll take that one. I don't know. I don't know if that restricts me from getting the rest of the chips in the game or what. Alright. So I'm trying to think like map-wise where that is located. Because it's that weird that it has like that Castlevania-like map, but there's not really a lot of landmarks to kind of help you think about it. Like the maps are squares, almost like it's like, hey, here's a room. But I mean, like, these rooms aren't square. They're pretty large in size, and the map doesn't really reflect that. So I don't know. We'll see. Was there something up here I missed? I figured you really can't go wrong with more health, so, or more defense. It may not be the best chip out of all of them, but no. So I'm pretty sure, let me back out. I'm pretty sure we passed where the upgrades are, but if that one upgrade is gone, then I kind of have a better idea of where those other ones are located at. So, but yeah, the script for the Castlevania 64 video is rough, and there's definitely like things I want to change about it at the end, and even up until the last minute, I was changing parts of the script. There's a particular section in the middle where I don't think I explain things very well. There's things I kind of leave out that I should have talked about, like in terms of it didn't really, like I said everything I need to say about the game, but I think I could have been more descriptive in some of the issues that the game had, and kind of give more detail of kind of how the game fails to do certain things. Okay, so that one is at the bottom of that pit. So there's something that's up here that I still need to get, and I just don't know how to get there. And there's something that once you're inside there, you have to go to the right to get. So I don't want to leave this top area yet until I figure out where this other thing is that's down below. The only thing is I don't really know where I can go here. Because this seemed like it's kind of... I kind of went across this whole area and then shot everything with missiles, and I still wasn't able to like go down. Unless I can go down and then left here. But even that's not really working. Yeah, I didn't really do anything here. Okay, so I know that's the end. This map design is so weird. Like, I don't feel like it maps to what's going on at all, because I'm already down at the bottom here now. Let's try this. But yeah, so I really think I could have done that Castlevania 64 video better, but I think overall, everything I wanted to say about Castlevania 64 is in that video. I just could have said it a little better, but you know, again, it was troublesome from start to finish. So, okay, this wall is cracked. I'm gonna guess we need to bring a mech over on the right side here. So, But yeah, we'll see. The next thing's probably gonna be the Hunex video, or the Hunex Fighters video, but that's gonna take a little time as well. I'm really not sure. I've realized that one video a month is probably not gonna be something I can consistently do. Which sounds silly. You'd think one video a month wouldn't be that much, but maybe it's because like all the other stuff I do and like just like timeline wise, it's just not really working out. Especially, you know, admittedly the Castlevania 64 video is a kind of an extreme case where it was like a nightmare till the end. So maybe it won't be so bad, and I will be able to get the videos out within a reasonable time frame. But I don't know if I have the. Okay, is there anything? I didn't really see any holes in the wall over here. Like, none of this is cracked. But, you know, hopefully going forward the videos won't be as rough, and maybe I can get something out every month, but I think it might go to every other month for now, so. That old stuff, you know, it's silly. I like it. It's cute. For sure. Okay, so that drill bounced off this thing. So let's see if we can gravity this up or something. That didn't seem to do anything. Yeah, and like skits in general, I haven't really been doing my video for various reasons, but I think the problem with the skits is that like at some point it becomes difficult for me to really I have a hard time looking back at them sometimes. All right. The end screen stuff I need to work on. I think, okay, I still don't understand what this punch thing is doing, but I got an H. All right, there's an H down. Oh, that's a type of robot. Okay. Yeah, the end screen stuff is I'm working on it. It's probably gonna be less of an end screen and more of just like a quick plug thing. I really don't want to do the whole like, oh, like subscribe, blah, 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 blah thing. But I think, sorry, I punched the thing. I think there's a couple things that I really need to do with that. One is make sure the this tank. Change K. Life up. It's like a question mark, question mark, question mark, this one. The big thing is I want to set a definition for the type of stuff I do. It's just hard to do because I do a bunch of random garbage. So, alright, so whenever we go down, it's too late. So we need to just keep going right as long as possible. Yeah, and it's sad because like that was also the video I wanted to like show people the most, so people were seeing kind of like, an okay video, but it's fine. I don't know what Change K is. We're gonna find out. I think the K, M, R, and all that stuff are robots that I can equip. So it looks like I'm collecting mechs. I don't know if I'll be able to use those on the later levels or whatever, but it's interesting. But yeah, I do want a description of, you know, the type of content I make and stuff. Alright, how's this gonna work? And I thought maybe the most, I kind of asked around, and Alex, I don't remember if you contributed at all, or if anything, and you don't have to or anything. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you need to participate, but I did kind of ask around what people thought like my general theme was, and I think maybe the one that was probably the most helpful was or the one that seemed most accurate to me was Tim said I like games that tell a story, and not in like a like story format per se. Like not saying, oh, this game needs to have a story, but more of stuff that, you know, it has a period in time and there's stuff going on around that period in time that kind of reflects kind of like what it is. I don't know how to put it. It's kind of hard. I'm doing a great job of selling you guys on this descriptive. But like I guess like with the Castlevania 64 video, there's a lot of stuff about like there's a lot of information about where it relates to in the Castlevania series history and kind of like what it was trying to do. I didn't think about what I'm gonna do here yet. Still. I know for sure I can't get up there from doing that. So the only thing I could think of, if I do this, but I really have to get up there quick. That doesn't seem reasonable. Maybe there's like a robot suit somewhere here that I can try to get, and that will actually let me jump further. At least in the first game, what you have to do is, no, there's no robot suit down there. You would have to, or not the first game, the second game, sometimes you need the robot suit to help you jump over stuff. So let me see if there's any cracked walls here. Yeah, again, maybe that doesn't have a history per se, but there's something about it that has a story worth telling. Like it describes something, or I don't know. It's very, very confusing. Like it wasn't like a perfect description, I feel like still. But I felt like I kind of understood. I kind of feel like I get what he was saying, but like it doesn't 100% apply all the cases. Like I wouldn't say Valkyria Revolution is a game that really tells a story per se, other than that. What's it called? Sega can't figure out how to sell their franchise. There we go. Like, Sega can't figure out how to sell the Valkyria Chronicles franchise, so they thought they had to like reset it. But like Human X Fighters is a game that I think most people only really care about. Allow you to recover energy. Your energy level will slowly increase. You can only hand one of these enhancement chips. Enter this capsule only if you're sure you want to use this chip. What? You already have installed another chip. I'm sorry, but you can't equip with more than one chip. Okay. Alright, so I think the chips aren't really worth pursuing because they apparently can't be done, which is fine. I think the life recovery one sounds less good, especially like during a boss fight or something. I could see the arcadey thing, but I wouldn't call like Valkyria Revolution like an arcadey game. I do think I'm very mechanics. Like, I do think I care a lot about mechanics specifically. I don't really care that much about, like, I care about story and characters, but I much more care about the mechanics of a game. Like, I can enjoy story and characters, but it's not absolutely needed. Alright, so S-Tank. So, I guess the question mark for the chips. So, we have change K and then a chip here. So... But yeah, it's hard because like I just like video games. Like it seems stupid to say it that way, but I do. I just love video games. I spend almost all my life thinking about video games. So for better or for worse, I like how I just like stood close enough that he just completely whiffed me. You know, so I don't know. It's like given the opportunity to play Madden, I would love to try to play Madden sometime. Whether or not Madden is something I want to play long term is another thing. But, you know, I would definitely try it. I don't care about football ever or anything, but, you know, I don't know. And like I get that way with like I like anime games, but like anime I don't really care that much about. Like it's not that I dislike anime, it's just not really high up on my list of things that I want to. Like, I almost always would prefer to play, like, a game based off an anime. I'm hoping, like, there will be a Fire Force game, because Fire Force seems like a really cool concept, and I like the aesthetics of it. But since it's an anime, I'm like, I probably won't ever watch this. But if it was a game, I would definitely check out the game. I feel like I can like. Sorry, I'm thinking about this water thing that's going on right here, and it doesn't really make sense when I was trying to think what was happening. I think this was a health upgrade or something at some point. I think I already got that though. Okay. So I think I don't want to drop down before I find an upgrade here. I know that doesn't probably make a lot of sense, but you guys know me. You know me well enough to know that I have like, oh yeah, that's the actual level down there if I recall correctly. So this is a robot suit. I'm gonna guess I want to do this. Yeah, I definitely binge what I do. I definitely want to get back to reading more manga and stuff. It just, it's hard. It's hard to find time for things. Like, you would think as an adult it becomes easier, and in some ways it does. In other ways it doesn't. Okay, there we go. If I press R1, I just, like, continue to go up. So I'm gonna guess whatever I need is gonna require me to swim up with this robot. I feel like I'm not going the correct way right now, is how I feel. Let's, I'm surprised those spikes didn't kill me. Trying to think of what I need to do with that. I feel like this is the area that I'm supposed to be going for this part, but yeah, I just keep busy, and I have too many projects. I promised forever ago that I would help the Spectrobes Discord write a guide on playing Spectrobes Beyond the Portals on the Wii U using the higher resolution mode. Great. There's something about this swimming mechanic I'm missing, I think. I don't know what it is yet. And I still haven't done it. I need to sit down and do it. I need to do the Final Fantasy XI data mining stuff. I seem to be the only person who has an interest in trying to do that. I did talk to somebody who was working on the game at the time, and he would be able to help me export collision data from the game. So you know how like on a map, like this is my thought, and I could be completely wrong on how this would work. So my thought is which map was I just on? I think it was on this one with James K. My thought is that there's some areas in the map or the game that I can't load because object data is missing. And so if the collision data is still there, I should be able to see the outline of the map essentially, where basically it was saying these are where the players would step and things like that, or touch walls, like walls and things. So I was thinking maybe we could try to pull collision data from some of the maps, because there are some maps in the game that I cannot load because the data in them is so old that they're not compatible with the current version of the game. So if we'd be able to pull the collision maps from those areas, we might be able to see what the areas actually look like. Because right now you can't load them. It basically just crashes the game if you try to do it. There's one you can load, and it's like an early dungeon kind of thing. But a lot of the object data is missing. Thankfully, it does load some of it. It basically doesn't crash, but it doesn't load a lot of it. There's very little of it left, but you can kind of, basically it's a lot of like objects in the rooms and stuff. And so I really want to do that, but it's just going to take time, and it doesn't really fit the other like content I do. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense from like a production standpoint on my time, of my timeline, I guess. I don't know. And it's just going to take a lot of work, and when I do it, it's going to disrupt everything else, because it takes, if not the same work, more work than creating a video kind of thing, because I have to do a ton of research. So Yeah, and Alex, it kind of goes both ways. It's interesting. Like school takes up a lot of home time. It's kind of like a weird trade-off. So when you're in school and younger, if you don't have a job yet, if you're working a full-time job, then it's kind of a different thing, because because then you're taking up your time twice. Let me figure out how these swimming mechanics work real quick before I It seems like it's just like a hop up and then eventually it stops. So in some ways it's yeah, so hop 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 hop. Okay. In some ways you have more time because you really don't have a ton of like responsibility outside of what you're doing with school and stuff. But you have things like homework and stuff that take away time from home and things like that. Usually homework isn't a huge deal, I feel like, but it just depends on your school and the workload and things like that. But yeah, like I think, you know, it really just depends on the school you're going to, what kind of work you're doing in school. Because I know some people who are ridiculously busy. So it's like, I'm not sitting there saying that like, oh, you have all the free time in the room. I think that's the mistake that a lot of adults make, is forget that there is a lot of stuff you're doing in school. Like it's not a free ride all the time in terms of time. Okay, I think this is the chip, so I can't get this one. Yeah. Ah, that would have been the better one. Oh well, it's too late. It's fine. For beating the game, the defensive chip is going to matter more. For playing cooler, it would have been cool to have the dash thing. But I think a lot of adults forget when you're a kid, there is a lot of schoolwork and stuff, and that it isn't like a free ride. But you do get like long breaks and stuff, like you know, summer vacations and things like that, which is great. And you have a lot of time, but then you don't have money, so like, you know, it's a lot harder. Thankfully, there's a lot of like ways to do things free these days with like open source tools and things like that. But you know, those tools aren't always great. I'm sure you've probably messed with GIMP or something in the past, and GIMP is a great tool for being free, but I would hesitate to say that GIMP is a great tool overall. Usually, most people dread using GIMP in the more professional environments. So yeah. And so like the nice thing about when you start getting an adult is that you just basically go to work, and then, you know, if you don't have to do a job that has much overtime, you're essentially free to do whatever you want once you get home. But you just have a lot more responsibility in terms of, you know, taking care of yourself. If you're living with somebody, taking care of your, like, you know, giving them the time they need to feel like, you know, if you're in a relationship, that you're in a significant relationship with them, and then, you know, like, you're kind of responsible for feeding yourself, all that good stuff. And you know, I spent a good chunk of a night this week trying to figure out how to get a passport, and it involved a lot of me going through documentation I had, trying to find my birth certificate, which I finally found. It had been years since I've been looking at my birth certificate, and I was about to order another one because I could not find my old one. But thankfully we found it. So it's kind of like a trade-off. And I'd say the nice thing about being an adult with a lot of time is with not a lot of time, or the nice thing about being an adult is you typically have more money. Not always the case. I'm very fortunate that I make a good chunk of money for the work I do, but I did not find whatever that last upgrade was. Yeah, those tools do require pretty decent PCs. So, which kind of sucks when you're, you know, trying to do let's see where I missed it. When you're trying to do Like when you're doing it as a hobby, I think you typically multitask more than if you're doing it for work. And so like if you want to be doing other things. Okay. So I feel like the first square is what actually is the power-up we're trying to get. I think the second square is too late. So I think we might want to figure out where the, like, it looks like you drop down into the water and then you need to go right back up after that is what it looks like. So let's try to do that. I don't want anything to do with any of these enemies. There we go. Alright, there we go. I'm kind of surprised how fast Mega Man climbs these ladders. Oh boy. This is what I get for not killing things. But yeah, I was able to get all the stuff in my passport, so I have to go actually do my passport stuff now so I can figure out my trip to Japan and stuff. I figured passport comes first because without the passport I can't leave the country. So that probably takes first priority over everything else. Let's keep using the underwater machine here. So, but yeah, I'm fortunate. Like, in some ways, I'm fortunate that I lead a pretty independent lifestyle. So I can kind of just do whatever I want. Like, if I really wanted to, because I don't make money from any of this stuff, like I could just stop streaming and stop doing video stuff if I really wanted to. Not that I want to. I love doing, like, at the very least, like, video stuff. At the very least, I know I love doing streaming. I enjoy. I can't say I love it, but I do enjoy talking to you guys while I do this. I hope you guys continue to have fun with it. I sometimes probably think too much about what constitutes a good stream or not, and I should probably just let. Oh boy. Okay, it's gonna be somewhere up here. Let's try going to the right a little bit, then flying back left. But you know, as long as you guys are enjoying it, I figure you stick around in that case. Okay, there it is. So I have to get up there somehow. So I need a, I think just jet up. I seem to get multiple dashes once I touch the top of the water. So nice. Yeah, it's not that hard to get a passport. It just takes time, and then you just need the right documentation for it. So I have all the documents I need. The biggest thing was that the birth certificate, everybody thought my mom had it, and so she kept looking for it, and then come to find out my dad is actually who had it, which is fine. Like, it's not a bad thing that he had it per se. We all thought my mom had it, including herself, and so she was like trying to find it. I feel like I'm doing this jump wrong, but I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm missing something here. Maybe I don't need to go to the right there. Maybe I just need to stick to the left. Yeah, stop streaming. Just make money. I'm not going to make any money from home, probably. But, like, this week, you know, just kind of chilling this week and not worrying about video stuff or anything. It's been nice. I probably do need to let myself relax more. Like, I kill myself over this stuff more than I should, for sure. For something that, you know, for all intents and purposes doesn't really matter. But, you know, I enjoy doing this stuff. This is so weird once you get up there. Like, I don't really understand how the dash mechanics are working up there. You have a chance to dash once you get out of the water. Make money from my videos, yeah. I mean, I could try. I turned monetization off a while ago because I just got tired of copyright stuff. And I do still get copyright claim stuff, but at least it's not like, I don't know. I don't have to worry about it as much. It would be nice, but, you know, at the same time, I like just kind of doing whatever. Like, if I feel like my brand at this point, I keep saying brand. I think you, Zero, have made me say brand all the time now. I feel like I can probably actually jump further left here. I don't need to stand on top of that thing. And then maybe get a better lineup of what I'm trying to do here. Maybe not. But I feel like most people will be like, oh, you're into the anime game stuff. And so like if I were to come up to them and be like, hey, here's my Full Spectrum Warrior video, people will probably be unhappy. I like Full Spectrum Warrior though. And I want you to like Full Spectrum Warrior too, but I understand. No! So I think the problem is, I'm going to practice this up dash up here real quick. I think if I spam the dash button, it cancels out the up dash. Yeah. So when I get up there, I need to make a very deliberate dash up is what needs to happen. Or else I'll just flounder on the edge of the water and just keep falling down. Yeah, that and the YouTube monetization stuff just seems like a nightmare. Like, I don't know, like, there's the thing that, like, I could constantly make excuses for why I'm not making money off my videos and stuff and trying to, like, do it, but, you know, I don't look at the industry right now for, like, you know, making videos, and it doesn't look healthy to me. You know, maybe... Okay, there we go, yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, and I know there's some people that are saying that you never have complete job security, so you should take risks and do it, but yeah, I don't know. I think I technically can monetize my videos, because I think I was like grandfathered in because I turned it on at some point, but I could be wrong. I would have to check. I had like I made like $20 off my like an Animal Crossing article a while ago from Google Ads stuff, and I think I made $20, but I couldn't take it out because I had to make a minimum of $100 to actually remove it. But yeah, I mean, I will say that like since I started streaming and putting out content pretty regularly, my YouTube channel has been a lot more active, and I also get a lot more people reaching out to me. Like I have a decent number of people who will communicate with me about stuff going on my channel, which I'm kind of surprised because, you know, it used to be that I'd used to go like a whole year and I'd maybe hear from like one person, but nowadays I hear from more people more often. So I think I'm doing, you know, at least there's something at the very end, and then there's something once I can go up. I need to go up for that. And if I hit a wall and have to go up, then I have to turn around. But yeah, I mean, I'm maybe not doing what's right in terms of, you know, trying to build a channel for money or anything, but I'm doing what's right in terms of, you know, getting some people involved. Whether or not that's, you know, good or not, I guess, is another thing. But I don't really have a goal with this stuff, though. Like, I am pretty much doing this stuff just because I enjoy it. So it's not like I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get big on the internet someday. It's just like I'm just here doing my thing, and yeah, I love it. You know, the more people who like my stuff, I'm very happy to, you know, have them, you know, be around. And I feel like the people that I have had around, like, you know, you and Alex, or Zero and Alex, both of you guys, and some other people I get comments from and stuff, seem to resonate a bit with the type of games I play. Obviously, stuff like Mega Man X3 and Resident Evil 7 is more of just me kind of exploring video games as a whole. It's not really like there's like nothing about X7 that I'm sitting here and being like, oh yeah, we're playing, or X3 that I'm sitting here and we're like playing it, and I'm like, oh yeah, X3 is this like really cool game you should check out. I mean, X3 is fine. It's a Mega Man game. It's a Mega Man X game. Like, everybody knows what Mega Man X is. There are so many people who love Mega Man X, and I have no purpose of like sitting here and being like, oh yeah, I love this. I'm just doing it because I kind of just treat my stream as a place to you know, play games that I have been wanting to play, but may not have had the opportunity to get to, for better or for worse. So Quick Plays, I think, kind of hit the line of it's not always something that I really want to talk about, but it's usually something I have some thoughts on that I kind of want to talk about a little bit. With streaming, like, honestly, I really don't have any thoughts on this game at all. It's, you know, it's one of these. There's some cool stuff going on here with, like, the mechs and stuff, but I feel like it's come so late in the game that I haven't really found much of a need for it. But I think if you're like a kid or something playing Mega Man X, that probably would have been a pretty cool thing to be able to find a mech and be like, oh, I could just use mechs whenever. Because, you know, in Mega Man X2, it was very situational. Which in this case, you can say, like, I have 4 different mechs to choose from or something, you know. Let's see what mech K is. Yeah, Patreon's probably the better option right now, but you know that, you know, I'm trying to remember where. So I think that last power up was like supposed to be. Let me check this real quick. Okay. I remember the last power up being kind of down-ish. Let's see if we can get this robot up here. I don't know if we'll need it, so. But Patreon definitely seems to be the one, and I was listening to a Retronauts podcast that kind of talked about podcasting advice in general, but they made a good point of just like, you know, if you feel good about your work, give people a way to give you money for it, and like, you may not, this looks glitchy enough that I wonder if this is what I actually need to be doing, but not glitchy, but like the robot wasn't exactly jumping on the ground. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. This looks right. Okay. Is this a chip or a thing? Okay, this is the arm chip. Increase your attacking abilities. Okay, we can't get this, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, that's like a good point that, like, if somebody wanted to give me money, I probably should give them the avenue to do so. I guess the question I have with making a Patreon is, I feel like my limit right now is time, not money. So, like, in making a Patreon, I don't know if I really have a way to help, you know, have people, you know, I don't really have a benefit for people if they give me money, but I guess I could just make a Patreon and be like, thank you for giving me money. I don't know. But I'm also finding with my videos and stuff that it seems like very specific fan bases tend to be what's watching it. Like the Spectropes video is very much just Spectropes fans looking for content around the game. And I think the Shaman King video is doing popular because Shaman King is a brand right now that you can kind of, you know, I wouldn't say it's popular brand, but, you know, Shaman King is a thing. And I think there are people who are looking for that kind of stuff. But then, like, the, you know, Mighty Number 9 content, or Mighty Number 9 video is, like, very low views. It's, like, 60 or something like that. Admittedly, there's, like, a lot of videos about Mighty Number 9, but I think a lot of people just aren't looking for stuff about Mighty Number 9. But, I mean, that's, like, everything I do is pretty much a slow burn because, you know, that Team Innocent video has like 100 views right now. I really did not pay attention to where that icon was flashing, unfortunately. That Team Innocent video right now has like 100 views or whatever, but it's been, you know, going steady. And you know, PCFX is a system that I think a lot of people do care about. But not every day is somebody looking up Team Innocent. I was surprised that Castlevania 64, there are a lot of videos about Castlevania 64 within the last year. I didn't watch any of them. I might go ahead and sit down and take some time to look at them to see kind of what the general opinion is. Because I was surprised how many Castlevania 64 videos there were. So I'm curious to see if they are negative or if they are good or whatever. If they're all just running off the AVGN train of this video game is awful kind of thing. Based off the descriptions I saw, it seemed like people generally enjoyed it, so. Yeah. Oh no. What happened? Oh, there we go. The resolution change took a little longer than usual. My TV was like, I'm going to shut down now. Okay. Yeah. I think I play games that are kind of distinct at the very least. So for the most part, but you know, again, Mega Man X3, maybe not so much. So I think the S tank is the only thing left. It kind of stinks you can't, like, what would have been nice about the chip thing is if they let you get the chips, but they let you switch between them, like you can switch between weapons. I think that would have made more sense. Okay, it's towards the back half of the level, it looks like, and it's after we start going down, and there'll be a central area that we can't go over. Okay. These maps are vague in a way that I like really think hard about the like shape of the level and where I'm going. So Drake of the 99 Dragons, is that a licensed game? That sounds familiar, I just can't quite remember what it is. Oh yeah, it's the stage. So I know for sure we don't need to worry about this area. One thing I do want to do, and I don't know if you guys have any interest in this as much, but I'm working on this stuff. It just is, it's taking time because it's really limited by my ability to go forward with this stuff, like the timing. But like, I do want to start bringing some people on the podcast. I don't know if you guys, I know Zero, you don't really listen to podcasts, which is fine. But I do want to start bringing people on the podcast that are liking like similar games that I like, and then kind of add another voice to it in cases of like, you know, there's barely anybody on the internet who talks about this video game, but this person in particular has done some interesting stuff with it, and you know, might have an interesting perspective that I might not be able to add, like getting another perspective on a game that's also like a generally positive perspective. I don't really want like there's nothing wrong with having a negative perspective, but I don't really want to just like have somebody come on and then just be like, oh, this game you like is trash, and I'll be like, well, I like it because of this, and then at the end you know, us more or less just being like, we agree to disagree. Like, there's nothing wrong with that conversation, and I could be wrong that maybe that's like a desirable conversation to have happen, I think, but like I would like to bring on people that can offer like different perspectives than me. Okay, so I went up this time last time, so this looks like maybe the triple area, and so maybe I got to go down here to the left, and then maybe there'll be something down over here. Like shape-wise, I don't know if this makes sense or not. I don't remember if I came this way last time or not either. Oh, whoops. I feel like I did. I feel like I maybe passed the thing, but we'll see here. But yeah, I think that is valuable, possibly. So, you know, I guess what I'm thinking of, like, you know, probably have more PCFX kind of discussions with some people. Maybe, you know, talk about Final Fantasy XI a little bit, and then also, like, there's somebody I found online that had, like, a really interesting... Okay, I don't think we want to go through that door yet. Interesting, like, someone online who is, like, really into Phantasy Star Online 3, and I want to do some Phantasy Star Online 3 coverage. I also don't know if, like, it makes sense to do that stuff when I'm doing the video of a game, about a game, because I feel like I don't know if having another piece of content covering that game really makes a lot of sense or not. So I'm just trying to figure out where it, like, fits. But basically, the thing would be, you know, basically the video I have with Rowan, where I did that thing with Rowan. I'm not particularly good at talking on a podcast with other people, so that's something that, you know, I'm hoping that this would help me work on, like, you know, better communication skills during that kind of stuff. Because I know it was rough when I was doing it with Rowan. I think it overall turned out fine, but in terms of, you know, before I edited it and stuff, I think at times it could have been better. Alright. So I think I want to be back up this way. I just don't know where I want to be, though. Sorry, I'm trying not to die real quick, so I'll read what you guys have to say in a second here. Oh, okay, so I can get a robot here. I just don't know who I need right now. Oops. But I'm gonna guess I do need to get this to get the what's it called thing. Drake of the Nine Dragons. Just respawn a comic book. Okay. Interesting. I'll have to look into the Drake of the Nine Dragons. I haven't heard of him before. And yeah, so I don't put the podcast on the YouTube channel. If you guys find it helpful for me to do that, I can. The reason why I didn't, oh, there we go. The reason why I didn't was because there was a period of time where those podcasts were getting 0 views every week. So I basically was like, nobody's listening to this. So I stopped putting it up on the YouTube channel because it just is like one less step I have to do. So basically what I do right now, Alex, is I have on the website a link to Anchor FM. And Anchor FM has a bunch of different podcast services. So if you use iTunes or something like that, there's a good chance that the podcast shows up on that podcast service. But if you don't use podcast services, I definitely can upload them to YouTube if you want. I just had to stop because basically nobody was listening to them there. So I'm pointing at you. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to bring on some guests and stuff. So I'm definitely trying to work that stuff out. And Zero, if you have something you want to talk about, I'm definitely open to having, like, both of you guys, if you have like an interesting topic you want to talk about, I'm definitely open to it. I just want to find something that I think would make sense. I wouldn't want to have, like, I had my uncle come on the show in the past once because he does play video games, and he wanted to talk about Tales of Berseria. Is that what it's called? I forget. But the podcast didn't really do anything. I really didn't feel like it was a good fit because they more or less was just like a random dude on the podcast just, you know, talking. But I think when I worked with Vink on that the Japanese retro game industry one, I felt good about that podcast. I didn't feel good about my performance on that podcast, but I felt good about the content of the podcast and kind of going out of my way to find somebody who may, you know, in the case of like Vink or something, he's not super well known. I mean, he has a channel, he has a following, but he's not like a you know, super celebrity or something. So I thought it was interesting to find somebody who has a particular interest in a particular topic that may not get covered as often, and go on that. So you want to talk to my dad and my uncle about Tales? Yeah, I could arrange that. I thought about trying to do a Final Fantasy 15 podcast, but I don't really know if the content, like, I really didn't feel a lot of need to pursue more Final Fantasy 15 content. And I think for the most part, like what we talked about, Zero, just on that chat a while ago about 15, I feel like we generally line up on what's going on with that game, but I don't really have like a passion for that game. And I also, like, Final Fantasy 15, I think, is this fairly well covered thing where I don't really know how much value a podcast would have on it, but I'd be curious if I could think of like an interesting approach to talk about that. So like the thing I'm going to probably try to do with Castlevania 64 is I do know of somebody who had a particular interest in the development of Castlevania 64, and I thought it might be interesting to do a podcast on kind of the history and development of that game and talk about that. But I haven't tried to line that up yet, so that might not happen. So let me look up Drake of the 99 Dragons. I want to see what this game looks like and see if I know what it looks like. If it's like a modern game, there's very good chance I have not seen it before. Anything that came out like post PS4 generation, like I feel like I have completely lost track of like there's a while where I could know basically everything that was coming out. Nowadays, it's like impossible. Okay, this is an Xbox game. I do recognize this game. I remember this game getting an X-Play review that said they were not into this game. Yeah, and Alex, that's the kind of stuff that I am looking for, but it just be a matter of something lining up right. So if there is ever anything that I find that I think would be a good topic, we could definitely do it. The only thing that's really planned right now is I do have a Lost Kingdoms 2 podcast that's going to be coming up with Rowan and some other artist lady. And I think she has like a small following of people. So that's going to be happening probably. But all three of us have not played Lost Kingdoms 2, so we may play it and then come out of it and being like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the general feeling on Lost Kingdoms 2 is. So if we come out of it and we all just feel kind of indifferent about it, I don't know, maybe we won't do the podcast. But at the very least, I think it'd be interesting to compare. I would at least like to have a conversation about Lost Kingdom 1, because I think Lost Kingdom 1 is an interesting game. And the lady who we've been talking to has a lot of knowledge about Lost Kingdom 1. Kingdoms 1. Kingdom or Kingdoms? I don't remember which one it is. And she's like played the prototype version of the game and stuff, and is looking to build the cutting room floor. So that's the kind of stuff I really would be excited to do. So after the Lost Kingdoms 2 thing, if I get my copy of Lost Kingdoms 1 and can sit down and play through it again, I don't have it with me, unfortunately. But I would like to do some kind of Lost Kingdoms 1 coverage at some point. So Durgis Cerberus is one of them. I haven't talked to my contacts about doing a podcast, but I have talked to them about getting some assistance on a video. They have other commitments. 1 second. I don't know. Sometimes the lady upstairs will start screaming, and it's fine. I don't know what's going on. It's not like a concerning scream, but I just have to listen sometimes to make sure nothing's happening. It's not like blood curdling or something. But yeah. So that one I had asked about doing a podcast on that one. I might do that, but basically they have other commitments, so they're working with some other group right now on doing Final Fantasy VII Durgis Cerberus stuff, and I totally understand that. And I told them, say, hey, I'll watch to see what you guys do, and then once they're done with their stuff that they're putting out, then I'll approach them if I have anything left over. Then I feel like I could contribute in this way to this conversation or something. First Kiss Story 20XX, yeah. First Kiss Story will come up a little bit, but it's probably going to be the last time we heard about First Kiss Story after that Hunex video. So, unfortunately, I do have nearly all of First Kiss Story recorded at this point, though. Yeah, the Wii version is interesting. I was actually recently talking about the Rodea the Sky Soldier with somebody in a different Discord channel right now. I was trying to convince some people. I have a hard time. I want to tell people to play the Wii U version of Rodea the Sky Soldier, but I just know that there are interesting things about that version. I think it does a lot of things well, but when it comes from a pure playability standpoint, the Wii version is better. And I hate to sit there and recommend the Wii version, but I always come down to that. I'm like, man, if you just want to have some fun, play the Wii version, I guess. But if you want to play the real Rodea, this guy is not the real. If you want to play the one that lets you do a lot of weird stuff with the movement, play Rodea the Sky Soldier on the Wii U. That's a cool game. I think I would like to play through the 3DS version of Rodea the Sky Soldier. I might buy a copy of that. I've been wanting to buy a copy of the 3DS version, but Any Creates podcast. I know a lot of people who like Any Creates. I don't know. So I follow a lot of the Gunvolt fan base on Twitter, and there's very, very passionate people in that community. And I would consider reaching out to them and doing something, maybe particularly surrounding Gunvolt rather than Any Creates. But I think the problem with that is that I think there's maybe a disconnect in what we value in those games. Like, some of those people I know in that group don't really like Gunvolt as a game. They just like the world of Gunvolt and the characters of Gunvolt. And I think that's perfectly fine if that's what you like. I like Final Fantasy XIV for the world, but I hate the gameplay of it. And I continue to try to play Final Fantasy XIV even though I don't like the gameplay. But the struggle with that is, you know, I feel like there has to be like some middle ground where we have like a layer that we overlap in the conversation. I think the Wii U version is not bad, but it has... The first hour I played Rodea the Sky Soldier on the Wii U, I thought it was really awful. The reason being is that I was trying to play the game like the Wii version of the game, which is not how you're supposed to play that game. It is a different style of game, even though it's, you know, the same pieces and stuff. So yeah, I definitely think the original Wii one's probably the most faithful to what the game is, but I think the Wii U one has a lot of interesting stuff. I think the leveling up system of the Wii U game is also really good. I think the Wii's power-ups break that game. I think they really need to be nerfed, or they need to add some kind of upgrade system to the Wii game as well. But because, like, I burned through those boss fights like crazy in the Wii version. You could just like take the assault rifle and just shoot them for like 3 seconds and they're dead, and that's it. Like, that's all you have to do. So I don't know if I'll get the art book version. I might just get the regular version, although I think there was like a soundtrack that came with some of the 3DS stuff. So yeah. I definitely have a lot of plans for that guest stuff with podcasts. A lot of it's going to be me just coming over, like, overcoming anxiety and stuff. I don't do a great job performing with other people with that kind of stuff. I've been kind of like mainly a loner on the internet for stuff. So this is me really recently trying to reach out to people and be like, hey, let's do something. You know, like, you have this interesting game that you love to talk about, and I have an interest in this interesting game. And, you know, very likely 6 months to a year from now, I will not look at that game again for the rest of my life, as much as I like it. But, you know, I do want to put this game on a pedestal and be like, hey, this game is really cool. Obviously I don't really have the audience to really call it a pedestal, but I like in some ways immortalizing that content, making it out there if somebody wants to come after it. Spectre's Origins maybe being the best example of, like, that's a game that I can put a video up there. So if somebody says, hey, I love Spectre's Origins and you know, I want to share this with people, you could put that video in front of them and be like, hey, you know, you may not be a fan of Spectrobes, but there's some really cool stuff in this game, I guess. Yeah, it's harder than just Talk Zero. My personal podcast, when it's just me, is just talk, but that's a different thing. Yeah, I think yeah, that's a problem that Gunvolt has too, where like all the dialogue can be skipped and stuff. So I definitely agree with you that I think the Wii U version is stronger in a lot of cases. I think if it just comes down to just playing through the game, it's probably funner to play the Wii version, in terms of, maybe not funner, but it's more accessible. It's easier to just point and shoot at things versus the Wii U version, where there's like a lot of intricacies and nuances to how Rodea moves, and you can't just use the pointer, or like even if you don't even think about the Wii version with the pointer, like your natural inclination is to use the analog sticks to point Rodea's camera around and like make him jump to things. But the real answer is that, you know, in the video talk about it, but like you have to use the up jump mechanic, the side dodging, all that stuff, the ground pound. That's how you move in that game. And I think a lot of people don't really necessarily see that in that game. They play an hour, say this is garbage. Let me try the Wii version, and the Wii version is better. Or they don't even look at the Wii U version. They just say everybody says play the Wii version because Yuji Naka says play the Wii version. I will never say the Wii game's a bad game. I think the Wii game's a solid 7 out of 10. It's like it is prime Wii third-party release of just like 7.5. I know it's weird putting a score on something, but like, and is there something wrong with that score? Like, that's a great score for like an enjoyable game. But I wouldn't say it's like anything that like blows the system out of the water or anything like that. There's some interesting things about the game. Yeah, Rodea. That's a video game. Oh, Monolith Soft podcast. Yeah, that's another option. I don't know who I talked to about Monolith Soft, actually. I feel like the problem with Monolith Soft is I love their battle systems, and most people love Monolith Soft for their story, and I kind of hate most of the story in Xeno games. Like, it's not bad. I don't want to say I hate it. I just don't appreciate it as much. Like, Xeno Saga and Xenogears get to, yes, Nier Automata level of like, I really don't care about this story in the way you care about this story kind of thing. What I did think would be interesting to do for a Nier podcast, I wouldn't want to bring on somebody who's only played Nier Automata or only likes Nier Automata and doesn't like the original Nier. I'd like to find somebody who likes both Nier and Nier Automata as equally as possible and have a conversation about what these two games do and what they do differently, because I feel like I need somebody who's going to be more level on what I need in terms of like explaining kind of the differences between these games and what they view like as the strong points of Nier Automata, because I think there are very few strong points in Nier Automata. That's not to say it's a bad game again. I just think it's not very interesting. Yeah, I sometimes debate unbinding some of the books I have here and scanning them, but I don't really have a decent scanner. I just have like a cheap Walmart scanner, so I don't know if that I don't know how valuable that is to do that. So anyways, the reason I stopped is because I knew we weren't gonna get to finish a level by the end of the 9:30. Now it's almost 9:40. We've been sitting on this screen for about 20 minutes. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks you guys for coming. Appreciate it. I'm gonna guess we'll wrap up the game next week. All we have left is whatever this D is, the essentially the Dr. Wily portion of the game. I think typically that portion of the game is about 4 stages long, and we have all the upgrades, so I don't think it'll be too taxing to get through the game. Yeah, I don't really know what the difference is between the versions of Nier, but there's definitely some interesting stuff there. I think people have done fan translations, or if not fan translations, they've at least imported the script between the two games. I love older Nier though, Papa Nier as everybody calls him. So I really don't regret getting the older Nier. It's weird to say this now because I feel like every AAA video game is dads in game, because everybody who makes games is like a dad now. But at the time with Nier Automata, I felt like that there wasn't a ton of dad characters that were like really strong main characters. So I feel like Nier and Attack of the Friday Monsters are 2 big points of that. But yeah, like I was saying, thank you guys for coming. We'll finish up Mega Man X3 next week, I think. If not, I think we'll be very quick the week after that. You guys already know this, but for anyone who might be watching later, OneControllerPro.com is the website. Castlevania 64 video went up this week, and there's also a Metroid Prime Federation Force Quick Play that went up this week as well. And then I'm not sure what the Quick Play will be for next week. I'm still kind of undecided. It will probably be Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I don't know. I'm at a point that I feel comfortable doing a quick play on Bloodstained, but there's a portion of the game I'm still kind of exploring. I want to see how much is left of the game. I did make some multiple save files, so it might be easier for me to show it off versus like No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again. But yeah, I think I'll have a quick play on Bloodstained Ritual tonight. I don't think I'm going to do any more other than a quick play for Bloodstained. It hits the... there's not enough special about Bloodstained for me to really do anything extensive content-wise, and there's not enough wrong with it for me to really feel the need to really, talk about what I think is troublesome about the game. I think it's a perfectly fine game, and I'll go into more details about that in the quick play when I get to that. But other than that, that should be it. Thanks for coming. Hope you have a good week. Bye. Oh, I don't know where the OBS is. Let me find it. Where's